I want to carry you back to the book of Esther as we conclude that topic. On the darkest day, God will make a way. On the darkest day, God will make a way. And I want to just highlight this. Look at the difference a day makes. Tell somebody, look at the difference a day makes. Look at the difference. Don't underestimate the power of a day. Favor will hit you. I tell you, today you're poor, and in one day, favor will hit you, and your circumstances change. A day. The difference a day makes. And I want you to see it, bringing you to a point where you know the story. Esther went in, and I highlighted last week that when she went in and she said, look, if I perish, I perish, but I'm going to see the king. As she entered in, and the king stretched forth the scepter, she went in and touched the scepter. She got the grace of God. Amen. And the king said, up to half the kingdom is yours. I wonder how many of us will run for the possession. Wow, half the kingdom. Wow. But no. Haman is there as well. But she did not blurt it out her problem. She said, King, if it please the king, I want to invite you and Haman to a banquet. So they came to the banquet the same day. The evening they came. And it was a beautiful banquet. And at the end of the banquet, verse number 7 of chapter 5. Verse number 7 says, Then Esther answered and said, My petition and request is this: if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and fulfill my request, then let the king and Haman come to the banquet which I will prepare for them, and tomorrow I will do as the king has said. From one banquet to another. Today, she said, come tomorrow to the banquet, and I will tell you my petition. One day. The question in my mind is, why are you taking so long to get to the point? If you have a wife like mine, hello, when you have something to say, get to the point. She stops. What are you trying to say? Get to the point. And sometimes I have to ask for the grace of God. As I breathe, I'm getting there. But in my mind, I'm saying, when are you going to get to the point? And I'm saying, sometimes you got to understand with God, hello, don't be too quick. Sometimes. Tell somebody, patience is a virtue. Sometimes when we are upset, it's like we just want to hit out. Sometimes you have to learn, tell somebody, zip it. Zip it. Zip it. I know you want to tell them what you feel, but zip it. Smile. Can you come to another banquet? It is not easy. But I want to show you the difference that one day makes. One day. If she had only did it before, she would have messed up, man. Sometimes when you're too quick, when you are too quick, you can mess up a good thing. Because you're so much on vengeance, and you so want to get even, that you don't know if I can just wait. Just be cool. Just be nice. God is setting this thing up for a climax. Hello. When God said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. Hello. You just wait on God. Because when God does his thing, oh my goodness, God does it well. Let's look at this thing and look at the difference a day makes. So after she invited them, Haman, he has walked out, and look at what the Bible says. So Haman went out that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, and that he did not stand or tremble before him, he was filled with indignation against Mordecai. There's some people, just because you're a Christian, hello, you upset them. Hey, anybody know what I'm talking about? They don't, it's like they just can't stand the best bone in your body. They're smiling, and the moment you walk in, they get sour. Mordecai, oh my goodness, for Haman, my goodness, Haman has everything, but this one man, Mordecai, oh my gosh. Somehow Mordecai seemed to be a thorn in his body, in his flesh. He wants to get rid of him. And I want you to see all the things that he has going for him. And when you don't have God, it is amazing that you can have everything going for you. But you see, anger, boy, anger will destroy you. Verse 10 says, nevertheless, Haman restrained himself and went home. And he sent and called for his friends and his wife, Zeresh. Then Haman told them of his great riches. The man have riches, my goodness. And a multitude of children. The man have children for so. Everything in which the king had promoted him and how he had advanced him above the officials and servants of the king. So the man is promoted. On top of that, moreover, Haman said, besides, Queen Esther invited no one but me to come in with the king to the banquet that she prepared. And tomorrow I am invited by her along with the king. Yet all this avail me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate. Boy, it just shows you, some people, I tell you, just have it out for Christians. The man has everything. The man has riches. The man has children. Hello, the man got promoted among all. He's above all. Man, this man has power. But my goodness, he is unhappy because of one man. Is it possible as Christians sometimes we could let some minor things get us upset? Because it's like nothing matters until you can just have vengeance on your enemy. When you start to operate like that, you're operating as the world. The man became so bitter and nothing mattered, only to get rid of Mordecai. So what happened? Remember all of this happening in one day. Then his wife, Zeresh, verse 14. And all his friends said to him, let a gallows be made, 50 cubits high, and in the morning suggest to the king that Mordecai be hanged on it. Then go merrily with the king to the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, so he had the gallows built. Thank you. And this is the thing I want to say. If Esther had only spilled the beans before, Mordecai would not be able to build the gallows. I said, don't rush. Hello. Haman had to build the gallows. And the thing is, sometimes you need to give your enemy some time. You know, sometimes you say, you need to give them some rope. Let them hang themselves. You need to allow your enemy. Oh, you go ahead. Think that everything is all. Go ahead. Hey, don't be hard. Don't rush. You just invite them. Do good to them. A day made a difference, because now the day God working behind the scenes allowed his anger to be so kindled that even his wife, hey, you need to have a good wife like mine, not like Haman. Amen. And she says, build a gallows, get the man, hang on it. And you know what? Before you go to that thing with the king, tell the king to kill him. And smile all the way to Esther. But let me tell you something. You need to give your enemy time to hang themselves. Yes. Don't rush. Know that when you just go with God's timing. Tell somebody God's timing. Divine favor becomes valuable when you understand that divine favor must go with divine timing. The timing is important. Favor cannot be successful without the right timing. Oh, you got to get this thing right. I don't want to rush. Lord, I just want to wait on your time. Sometimes God's time is not your time. I don't know who I'm talking to today. You want something now, but God says, hey, wait on my time. Because in order for favor to really be true favor, timing is important. Here is timing. The difference that they make. After he says that, chapter 6 now jumped in and says, that night the king could not sleep. Oh, jeez. If she had rushed it, you have to wait. Look at the difference. Look, all of this happened in 24 hours. The king could not sleep. So, one was commanded to bring the books of the records of the chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthan and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs, the doorkeepers, who had sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. Then the king said, what honor or dignity has been bestowed on Mordecai for this? And the king's servant who attended him said, nothing has been done to him. I want to just bring a point. Is it possible that you could be overlooked? Oh, God. You have helped somebody. I mean, you actually saved their life. And it's like you were overlooked. You were overlooked. What do you do when you are overlooked? Yeah. Sachin, you know about that. You're better than many, but somehow they overlook you. And they want to give their friends some other favor. Have you ever been overlooked? What do you do? I ask myself, boy, how do you react to situation? What is your response? And I have to stop and really applaud Brother Mordecai at this time. Because to be overlooked, and when you read this thing, I'm just carrying you back because what is interesting, I need to make sure that I get this page. If you read this thing, go back to Esther chapter 2. Esther chapter 2, verse 21. You understand? And it says, in those days while Mordecai sat within the king's gate, two of the king's, Bigthan and Teresh, doorkeepers, became furious and sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. So the matter became known to Mordecai, who told Queen Esther, and Esther informed the king in Mordecai's name. And when an inquiry was made into the matter, it was confirmed, and both were hanged on a gallows. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles in the presence of the king. No, right after, verse 3. Verse 3, he said, after these things, the King Ahasuerus promoted Haman. Imagine after you save the king, the man who get promoted is your enemy. Oh, God. Hello, nothing gets you more vexed than that, boy. After I've done all my doing, look who you want to promote, boy. Poor. I not come in church. You see this Christian thing, it ain't worth it. That's it. God unfair. God real unfair. And I'm saying that you have to applaud Mordecai. Mordecai, how did you handle this? And the one thing that comes to my mind is this. You have to learn how to guard your heart as a child of God. While you're going through your stuff, while you're going through your issues, and life seems so unfair, tell somebody, guard your heart. Oh, Proverbs says it. It said, guard your heart. Out of it cometh the issues. Oh, my God. Is there anybody that should guard your heart? What do I allow inside? Look, oh Lord, look what I do for that man. Look what you do, boy. I'm not talking to him. Bunch of ungrateful people, boy. After all I've given, and not one of them say thanks. Fire burn them. It's amazing. It is amazing how we become cold. We become angry. Because people hurt us. But somehow, when you guard your heart, oh my God, people can do you what they want. But you know what? You can't get inside here. I know, even when I'm overlooked, I know that God has not forgotten. Man might forget me, but God did not forget me. And at the right time, God will bring it back to him. Are you understanding me, church? God will never forget your labor of love. Hebrews 6 and verse 10. God will never forget. Pastor might not remember. Hey, your husband or your wife might forget. But the Bible says God will never forget your labor of love. Whatever you do, make sure you do it with the right attitude, eh? Not because you give the church, hey, I give it to a pastor, I want you to start to account to me how you're spending the money in the church. You're giving it as unto God. Whatever you do it as unto the Lord, not as unto man. And now, it seems like even though he was overlooked, suddenly, in a matter of one day, God allowed divine insomnia to take place. Oh, Jesus. Hey, don't play with God, you know. God, king no eat. Come on, man. Let me talk to the man. After you eat a good breakfast or a good lunch, hey, or a good supper, after that, you take the great yawn. And then after the great yawn, come the best sleep because your belly full. This man just came out of a banquet, belly full, and he just can't sleep. When divine insomnia hits you, even though you want to sleep, you can't sleep. Because it's not just by, hello, God is working behind the scenes. Hello, while you're there praying, I want to tell you, when God has something assigned for you, the devil cannot stop it. Divine insomnia. And the man said, oh, look, I need to sleep. It's not working. Bring me a boring book, please. And the man, hello, the book of Chronicles, there's a lot of books that could bring. This man just go pick up a book. And when he pick up the book, there are so many pages in the book of Chronicles that he puts his hand, bam, on exactly when Mordecai saved the king. Let me tell you, I know you think that this life that you think is by chance. But I want to tell you, it is not by chance. It is by divine order that God does things when it pertains to the believer. God is orchestrating this thing. And if you move too fast, if you move according to your emotions, you can just mess up what God has in store for you. You have to learn how to be still. Tell somebody, be still. Be still and know that I am God. I'm working behind the scenes to make sure that all is well. Divine insomnia, book open, he hears about Mordecai. Now I want to show you something. I recognize the problem in the church today falls right here. Let's go back to the text. The king recognized what Mordecai did. And I tell you, God set up this thing so great. Look at verse 4 of chapter 6. It says, so the king said, who is in the court? In fact, I want to go a little higher because I want to show you exactly why Mordecai came. All right, let's go verse 3. It says, then the king said, what honor, dignity has been bestowed to Mordecai for this? And the king's servant who attended him said, nothing has been done for him. So the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the king's palace to suggest that the king hang Mordecai on the gallows that had been prepared for him. Then the king's servant said to him, Haman is there, standing in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in. And the king asked him, what shall be done for the man whom the king delights to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, whom would the king delight to honor more than me? Lord Jesus. And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delights to honor, let a royal robe be bought which the king has worn, and a horse on which the king has ridden, which has a royal crest placed on his head. And let this robe and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that he may array the man whom the king delights to honor. Then parade him on horseback through the city square and proclaim before them, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. Then the king said to Haman, hurry, take the robe and the horse as you have suggested, and do so for Mordecai the Jew, who sit, oh my God, within the king's gate. Leave nothing undone of all that you have spoken. You tell me God had to have a sense of humor. You know? That's why you don't hustle. Don't be too hurried to tell your problems. God has this thing. Hey, look at the difference. A day may expire. In one day, I believe the problem that exists in our world today is a serious problem of narcissism, if anybody knows that word. People who are so in love with themselves. Imagine Haman is saying, who is the king? Who is the king that likes to honor? It has to be me. Do you have some people you're just full of yourself? You just believe that you are the best thing in the whole world. Everything is about me. Everybody loves me. Oh, boy. Oh. Please. Please. We get married, and we get married so that we could be happy. It's everything is about me. And I tell people, first thing I tell people, when you get married, you must write. And I was doing a couple today, just this week, and I'm telling the couple, I said, I need you to write 30 times. Hello, marriage is not about me. You don't get married to be happy. No. If you only decide to get married, and all the single people, listen to me carefully. If you don't want this counseling, try somewhere else. But that's the first thing you have to do. You must write that down 30 times. Marriage is not about me. You do not marry to be happy. Because if you try to marry to be happy, hello, you are going to be disappointed. Because, hello, people will always disappoint you. When you marry a wife and she suddenly become a knife, hello, trouble. No. When you think you marry a man and somehow that man become a manicure, something wrong. It changes. And I'm saying, life is like that, boy. Come see me and come live with me. Yeah. When I look at you, They even say you could just watch. It's like you go into a restaurant and you could always know those who are married from those who are courting. Yeah. Courting people always up in each other's face. My people always sit on one side. Hey, when you're courting, you're moving from it, come let's sit down together. Marry the hell, you sit down and say, you can know it. Hello. Hey, come on, man. Because that's reality, boy. And I'm saying, you don't marry because you want to be happy. Your purpose in marriage, the man's purpose is to make the wife happy. The wife's purpose is to make the man happy. If both of you are trying to make each other happy, you will be happy. It's not about you. Likewise, your Christian life is not about you. When you start to think about you, you become just like Haman. Thinking that, it's about me. So this is what you're going to do. And just by doing that, there's a self-pride that comes up. So that when people offend you, you're offended. You understand? You say, I deserve this? After all I've done for you? I don't. Oh, come on. Suck it up. Point is, sometimes we so think that all we can see is what we've done. Sometimes we don't even study what the other person has done. But let me tell you something. Hey, we need to understand when we come to God. Hello, it is not about you. God has always saved you to be a blessing. Jesus said, I did not come to be served, but to serve. Come on, we have to learn that, there must be a cause outside of yourself that you're called to do. Yes. And God is saying that we need to come back to that place. Because once you start to show pride, the Bible said, all those that have pride, God is going to humble you. And that's what happened to Haman. Haman had to experience true humility. And boy, when he stated all the things. He said, look, put the royal robe on him, put a crown on his head. Hey, let him go on the royal horse, and let a man go ahead and proclaim throughout, hey, this is the man that God delight, or the king delights to honor. Oh, you're going around. Oh, I came and said, oh, God, I'm going to be like a boss. And then God said, the king said, all right, you see that? He said, hurry. He didn't say, take your time. Hurry up. And exactly what you do, I want you to go and do to Mordecai. Your enemy. You can imagine how sick that man feels. That man. Oh, you know the thing, boy. Everything that you say, man. The man who is your hate. The man who, oh God. This is the man the king delighted on him. This is the man the king delighted on him. This is the man the king delighted. Hey, this man, you could not believe. But let me tell you, when we fail to humble ourselves, God will bring you down. And let me tell you the best part in this thing. The best part in this thing was not even that for me. I tell you, I started to look at the part that applied to me. I looked at Mordecai. Look at Mordecai's response. You can imagine Mordecai? You're buggered now. Look who's boss. You play a dotish. You know. Was that Mordecai's response? No. All that was happening, Mordecai remained silent. When you guard your heart, even when people have to exalt you, sometimes you need to zip it. Because sometimes, you know, when you write and somehow you're supposed wrong, I told you so. You have to learn how to, when you guide your heart, sometimes the best way is to just be silent. While all of this is happening, Mordecai is silent. He's not saying a word. He's just going through, and he's just all about what God is about to do. He's all about what God. When he comes down, bam, and he goes right back to the same spot. He doesn't act like he's better than anybody else. He just remains silent because he guards his heart. When people exalt you, how do you behave? Can you walk with kings, but still you haven't lost the common touch? Is it possible that people can exalt you and still you can just be a base? Yes. Without saying a word. Allow exaltation and elevation never to affect who you are. I say, God, help me to be like Mordecai. That I can be exalted or elevated, but still be silent. Be silent. Tell somebody, be silent. Be silent. You're right. Be silent. You get promoted. Be silent. I wish we could just understand. Shut up. And just let God do his work. When you get the right thing, I'm finishing now. I'm finishing. Don't get tired on me here. Look at what happened. It says that after he was finished, look at what happened. It says that, verse 12, after Mordecai went back to the king's gate, but Haman hurried to his house, mourning and with his head covered. Oh, God, that man feels so sick. Could not. The man is crying. The Bible says he's mourning. And still with all of that, he would not change his ways. My challenge with people is that, hello, God is trying to teach you a lesson, but you're not even willing to change. Because you believe that you're still right. Sometimes God has to humble us so that we understand that all God wants you to do is change. Change, change. Change, my brother. Change, my sister. And look at what I love here is even his wife now becomes very prophetic. It says, verse 13, when Haman told his wife, Zeresh, and all his friends, everything that had happened to him, his wise men and his wife said to him, if Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of Jewish descent, you will not prevail against him, but will surely fall before him. Have you ever read that? The wife is saying, hello, there's no way you could win this war, boy. After she tell him Bill Gallows, she said, come on. She's not come and say, yeah, no way. If this man really Jew, hello, you're in trouble. You're going to fall and you'll be in trouble. And what I love about God, after he heard this, look, God is just, the Bible says wild. Tell somebody wild. It means therefore, they're still talking and God is not even giving him a chance to think about this thing. While they're still talking, oh my goodness, while, verse 14, it says, while they were still talking with him, the king eunuchs came and hastened to bring Haman to the banquet which Esther had prepared. Long and short, time is against us, but I want to just tell you what happened. In that banquet, right after Esther, after the king eat, the king asks a question. He asks her, what do you want? What? What do you want? And verse 5 of chapter 7, it says, so the king said, in fact, let's go to verse 4, sorry. Let's try verse 4. It says, from verse 3, so you could read it. It said, then Queen Esther answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we have been sold, my people and I, to be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated. Had we been sold as males and female slaves, I would have held my tongue, although the enemy could never compensate for the king's loss. So King Ahasuerus answered and said to Queen Esther, who is he and where is he who would dare presume in his heart to do such a thing? And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you. It is amazing the difference one day makes. One day. One day caused the king to be so in love with his wife, to understand the importance of people who he have overlooked and honor them. And now, when he heard this thing, he wants to know it's who and who it could be. Haman. At this point in time, Haman wants to go in the bathroom. He cannot believe he is. His wife now declared that, and before. It's amazing when life starts to go wrong, how quickly everything could go wrong. Everything started to go wrong. With that, what happened? The king decided to go for a walk because he cannot believe his ears. And Haman now falls. Oh, the queen is lying down on her couch. And Haman now comes over the couch and begging for his life. Begging, oh God, please, please. And right as he's begging on the lap of the woman, Boy, the king walks in. Strange enough, the king said, so you're going to assault the queen too? I am saying, oh my God, no, he was begging for his life. But when God put something together, oh my God, God could know how to make bad matters worse. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When God put something together, vengeance is mine, I will repay. God caused a man to see a good thing bad. And God said, I said, what? What? And the Bible said, while he was there, they just came and covered his head. And then here is one of the eunuchs. He said, and he has a gallows that he built for Mordecai. The king said, hang him on it. Oh my God. Hey, when a plan comes together, it will come together. I call this the day of divine reversals. I believe that there is a time in the believer that, oh my God, God will just reverse situations. Today you're down to the bottom, but look out. Tell yourself, this is not how my story would end. Hey, the Bible says that, if you're weak, you're going to become strong. Hey, if you're to the bottom, you're going to be the head and not the tail. There's a day of divine reversal. I don't care if your marriage is on the rock. With God, it's about to turn. It's going to turn around. I don't care. You might be last to the back in your exam. God is going to make you the head and not the tail. The moment of divine reversals. And I'm closing, but if I don't show you this, it would be remiss of me. It would be very remiss of me for you to leave without recognizing this. But look what happened. After he was hanged, look at what God did. Look at what God did. Imagine the king, chapter 8. Look at what the king did. It says, and on the day King Ahasuerus gave Queen Esther the house of Haman. So the wicked man with all his riches died. And then the king said, all that Haman has, Esther, that's yours. Hey, let me tell you, when God ready for you, what the wicked thing that they could do to you, God will take the riches of the wicked and he will give it to them. You play with God? You could really play with God? How could you? Hey, you might be going through a tough time today. I want to tell you, this is only temporary. God is about to turn your situation around. Read it for yourself because of lack of time. Then, because a decree was made to kill them, the king could not take it back. So what the king did, he gave Mordecai his signet ring. And he told Mordecai to you go and make a law. And he made a law that not only are the Jews to fight back, anyone that come to attack them, he said you could go and you could fight back. He said, kill anybody that come to you. You have the right now to kill their children and to take all that they have. So what he did was literally made a law that superseded the law before. Hey, let me tell you something. God is a God. When you understand it, God will give you always something better than what was there before. So even though somebody say, you know what, I go with the first law. They said to kill Jews. The Jews say, hey, I have a better law. That when you come to attack me, I will attack you, and I will kill your children, and I will take your property too. Because all you could do is just kill me, you can't take my property. Huh? You could kill me. But no, I could kill you, I could kill your children, and I could take your property. When God set you up, God turned around the legal situation. I don't care what they say about this. Hey, just for the sake of the saints, we need to pray, because when God, is doing his thing, there will be a day of divine reversal. That even the economic situation, I don't care if it will affect other people, but it shall not affect the children of God. I declare that we shall prosper, and we will be in good health. As our soul prosper, so would we, because we are children of the Most High God. God will grant us favor, even when it seems impossible with man. It's still possible with God. All heads bow, all eyes closed. Thank you for your patience. The difference a day makes. The day of divine reversals. I feel honestly that many times we come to church, and truth is that what people see is the outside. The outside is a smile that is not really a smile, because truth is that we are going through our own stuff. Some of us, we need God to intervene financially for us. Some of us, we need God to just give us that which is due. You have been overlooked. You have been unfairly treated. And you're saying, God, I just want my just due. Sometimes you want God to work on your job. And you're saying, God, I need your divine reversal. The boss is always down on my throat. And the truth is, I'm the innocent one, but it seems like I'm the black sheep. Sometimes in your family life, we treat our children. They are the heroes, those that do well in exams. And those that don't do well, we treat them somehow as the scapegoats. We treat them like a dog. Sometimes we do it, it's unfortunate. But sometimes even young ones can feel, sometimes parents, we make them feel like if they don't have problems, they have issues. You know what you're going through right now. You could be a boy or girl, you could be a grown-up, you could be anybody that is in this place. But you want to say today, God, I want to lay my burdens at the altar. The same way I come in, I don't want to leave with it. Nobody needs to know what's your problem. But you want to leave it at the altar. Would you be obedient enough to say, just to stand right where you are and say, this praise for me, this praise for me, this praise for me, this prayer for me, this prayer.